Okay. So I hope my screen is visible. Yeah, please confirm. Is the screen visible? My sound, my voice audible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, so we will start. So you see, this is we are starting with Nectar of Instruction preface. Okay, so Prabhupada has written this preface in 1975. Okay, September 20, 1975. So let's see what Prabhupada is writing about this book. Okay, this is a very important book. You see, um, in the Bhakti Shastri is the basic course for all ISKCON people. And Prabhupada wanted that all ISKCON devotees should go through these books. Why? Because you will understand when we go through these books that how important these books are. Okay. So let's read the preface part and try to understand. So can anyone read this
Yes,
from here to
Prabhuji.
here?
I can read, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Um, the Krishna consciousness movement is conducted under the supervision of Srila Rupa Goswami. The Gauriya Vaishnavas or Bengali Vaishnavas are mostly followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of whom the six Goswamis of Vrindavana are direct disciples. Therefore, Srila Narottama Dasa Thakura has sung Rupa Raghunatha Padaha Padaha Ibe Akruti Kabe Hama Bujaba se Yugala Prititi. When I am eager to understand the literature given by the Goswamis, then I shall be able to understand the transcendental loving affairs of Radha and Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in order to bestow upon human society the benediction of the signs of Krishna. The most exalted of all activities of Lord Krishna are his pastimes of conjugal love with the gopis. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in the mood of Srimati Radha Rani, the best of the gopis. Therefore, to understand the mission of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and follow his footsteps, one must very seriously follow in the footsteps of the six Goswamis, Sri Rupa, Sanatana Bhatta Raghunatha, Sri Jiva, Gopala Bhatta, and Dasa Raghunatha. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So you see what Prabhupada is writing. The Krishna conscious movement is conducted under the supervision of Srila Rupa Goswami. Okay, so what is the meaning of this? The meaning is um, that whatever activity we are doing, okay, and whatever things we are doing in our Krishna consciousness or in ISKCON, that is being under supervision of Srila Rupa Goswami. Okay. That's why you see the ISKCON devotees are called as Rupa Nuga also. Why? Because they follow the footstep of Srila Rupa Goswami. So you see, Srila Rupa Goswami is a very important personality. Okay, why? Because in Bhakti Shastri we have four books. Okay, and you see two books are written by Srila Rupa Goswami. One is Nectar of Devotion and one is Nectar of Instruction. Okay, and one book has Krishna spoken himself. Okay, and this book, out of these two books, this book Bhakti Updeshamrita or Nectar of Instruction is called the law book of ISKCON. Okay, so it seems that it is very important book because law book, it is called as law book of ISKCON. Okay, so this thing is there, that this is, yeah. So Prabhupada writes that Krishna conscious movement is conducted under the supervision of Srila Rupa Goswami. So let's try to understand a little bit about Srila Rupa Goswami. Okay, then only we'll be able to understand something. And you see here, Narottam Das Thakur has written a poem, a very nice song, where he's saying, Rupa Raghunatha Pade Haibe Akuti. Okay, Kabe Hame Bujabe Se Yugal Apriti. When I will understand, when I will um, understand the transcendental loving affairs of Radha and Krishna. Bujabe se Yugal Priti. Yugal Priti means, the Yugal means the Radha and Krishna, and Priti means the prema or the love. Okay, so loving affairs for Radha and Krishna. Kabe hame bujabe. Bujabe means to understand. This is in Bengali. And it is said that when I will be able to understand the loving affairs of Radha and Krishna, okay. So when I will understand that, when Roop Raghunatha Pade Haibe Akuti, when I will have the tendency to surrender unto the foot of the lotus feet of Roop and Raghunath. Okay, so Roop Raghunatha Pade Haibe Akuti, Kabe Hame Bhujabe Se Yugala Priti. So very nice song. Narottam Das Thakur is writing in the glorification of Roop Goswami. Okay, so Roop Goswami, if we see the history, the how Roop Goswami and what was the means contribution of Rup Goswami in Gaudiya Vaishnava literature. So Gaudiya Vaishnava literature is connected to Srila uh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Okay, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, if you see, has not given too much literature. Okay, he has given us only 8 shloka, that is called Shiksha Ashtakam. Okay, so 8 shlokas only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given. But if you see the literature of Gaudiya Vaishnava, it is very vast. So who has written all those literatures? So Gaudiya Vaishnava literatures are written by these principal disciples of the Siksha disciples of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And out of those, one is Srila Rupa Goswami. Okay, so Rupa Goswami is out of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, the leader is Srila Rupa Goswami. Okay, and he is called as the Rupa Manjari in Krishna Leela. Okay, in the Goloka Vrindavan, he is Rupa Manjari. Okay, so if you see Krishna is there and Krishna and their 8 Sakhis, the most prominent 8 Sakhis are there, and most prominent 8 Manjaris are there who assist the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Okay, so out of those, the most important Manjari is Rupa Manjari. And when Krishna comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and in the mood of Radharani to assist Radharani and Krishna's loving affair and to understand the mood of Radharani, Srila Rupa Goswami has also come, Srila Rupa Manjari has also come in the form of Rupa Goswami. You see how it is connected that Radha and Krishna is there in the Goloka Vrindavan and Rup Manjari is assisting those pastimes. And here, when Krishna comes, then Rup Manjari also comes in the form of Rup Goswami. Okay, so out of that, all the 8 principal Manjaris, Rup Goswami is the most important Manjari. Okay, so that is the about the Tattva, or little bit about the Rup Goswami. Actually, Rup Goswami and his brother Sanatan Goswami. So 2 brothers were there, Rup Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. Both were like Saraswat Brahmana family, from the Saraswat Brahmana family originating from the Karnataka. Okay, so they were originating from the Karnataka, but somehow conditions after due to some condition they moved to West Bengal. Okay, and they were from very high Brahmana family. Okay, and but somehow during that time, what was there? The ruler, the rule in that region of Bengal, it was ruled by Muslim government. Okay, so Muslim leaders were there. Okay, and the leader of that time, the West Bengal was ruled, not the West Bengal, the Bengal province was. You can consider him like a prime minister of time. Okay, and these 2 brothers, Rup Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, they are very pious Brahmana. They didn't want to work under the Muslim rulers because they were eating non-vegetarian food and they were doing all types of illicit activities. Okay, so those type of activity, they were killing people. Those things were there. They were hurting the Brahmana. Okay, Go Hatya, Brahmanatya, those things they were doing. So these 2 brothers, they didn't want to work under Nawab Hussain Shah. Okay, but these 2 Brahmanas, these 2 brothers were very intelligent. Okay, and some incident happened that Nawab Hussain Shah came to know that these 2 brothers are very intelligent. Okay, so he wanted these 2 brothers in his ministry. Okay, so he asked these 2 brothers to work under him. Otherwise, he will kill the Brahmana. Um, he will destroy the temples like that. he has these conditions he has put in front of these two brothers. So these two brothers were very soft-hearted. Okay, they didn't wanted to hurt the brahmanas and the temple. Okay, and the ruler was very cruel. Okay, so what they did, they accepted the offer. Somehow they were working externally for the Nawab Hussain Shah, but internally they were having so much glaring that what I am doing. Okay, and they were not associating at all with those people. Okay, so morning till evening they will work for the ministry, and evening they will come to their home. They will offer the puja. They will do their reading. Okay, their reading and chanting. Okay, so they were in very distressed position. Okay, so they were in their very distressed. Okay, they wrote so many letters to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, and that please relieve me from this position. We are in very distress. We don't want to work with these people who are eating meat. They are killing brahmana. They are destroying the temples. Okay, these things we don't want to work under them. But somehow they were writing so many letters to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, so these things were there. These two brothers, and these two brothers were earlier the name was Amar and Santosh. Okay. Earlier the name was Amar and Santosh, and later when they came to the ministry, Muslim ministry, their name was changed to something Dabir Khash and someone more. Two names are there. I always forget the name. Okay. Sakir Malik and Dabir, I think Dabir Khash something. Okay. Anyone remembers the name? Anyone remembers what was the name of two brothers? Many of I see many people they have done Bhakti Sastri little bit earlier. So Aruna Mataji and Klavati Mataji, you can lower the hand. Anyone remembers the name? You can unmute and tell. No one? Okay, so the name was Sakir Malik and Dabir Khash, I think. Okay, so these two names were there, which was given by the Muslim ruler to these two brothers. Okay, and these two, no one wants to lose a intelligent like a king doesn't want to leave the ministry to the foolish people. Okay, they wanted intelligent people around them. So the ruler also wanted to doesn't want to leave them. Okay, he wanted that both brothers would work under them. So like that was there the situation, but these two brothers, well, with heavy heart, they were working under the Muslim ruler. Okay, they were working for the ministry. Um, Rup Goswami was the chief minister, and Sanatan Goswami was the finance minister. So very high post. So after the king, after the prime minister, the post of Rup Goswami was there. So he was in a very high post. Okay, and Sanatan Goswami was as finance minister at that time. So that was the situation of these two brothers. So we see that these two brothers was in very high post, but they were full of glani that they are working for these two people and they are not able to follow their bhakti very nicely. Okay, so they were writing to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and one time what happened? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he wanted to go to Vrindavan. Okay, so he didn't took the route of like from the direct route from Puri to Vrindavan, but he took the route from the West Bengal part. Why? Because he wanted to meet his disciples. Okay, so um, so now he came through the route of West Bengal and he stayed at Ramkeli. Okay, so when these two brothers came to know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has came to Ramkeli, okay, and these two brothers were staying at that place only. So say they they took the form of like different person, okay, because they were in very high post. Say they didn't come, they cannot come like this. So they changed their Vesbhusha, they changed their attire, and they came to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the night. Okay, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu they met and they have conversation that how they are very much in a very um, pity condition that whole day they are working for the people, okay, who are like meat eater and not following the four regulatory principles. They're like different category of people only, okay, and but they were not at all associating with them, okay. They were paid so much money, the Muslim ruler was giving so much money to them so that they stay with them, okay, but they were not at all attached to the money, okay. And they came to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and they cried so much in that night, okay. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has also become like so much compassionate towards them that they told, okay, you continue your service, whatever service you are doing, and some Krishna will arrange the time when you will come again and meet me. Okay, so like that. So like that happened, and these two brothers with heavy heart they came back again to the ministry. They started working, but now they are fully changed. And that time only they were initiated and given the name of Rup Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. Okay, so with heavy heart they came back, but now their heart was with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. With with only superficially they were working for the ministry. Okay, but now their mind was fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness. So they wanted to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They wanted to leave everything and go. Okay, so. So Rup Goswami first came to the Muslim ruler and asked that he wanted to leave. He wanted to leave the ministry. He didn't want the ministry. Okay. So somehow he was allowed by the Nawab Hussain Shah, and he immediately left for Prayagraj because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there in the Prayagraj at that time, and he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu there. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu after that gave 10 days continuous lecture um, to the Rupa Goswami. Okay, so what will happen? What is the means all the uh, philosophical basis, okay, all the philosophy Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 10 day for continuous 10 day he has given the instruction to Srila Rupa Goswami, okay. So and then he was given these instruction in Prayagraj, okay. And the second brother, the Sanatan Goswami, actually he was elder brother. Sanatan Goswami was elder than Rupa Goswami, but he also asked that I also want to leave, okay. But uh, the Muslim ruler thought that one brother has gone, this brother is also going, so no, he didn't allow this brother, okay. So he captured the brother and he prisoned Sanatan Goswami, okay. But somehow Sanatan Goswami gave some money bribe to the prisoner and he ran away, okay. And then again he went to the Vrindavan, okay. So that was the story of little bit story of Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. So you see the background that they were not like common people. Okay. So they left everything and they become beggar in the Vrindavan. So you see the contrast. Okay. So one side they have everything. They have ministry, they have post, they have power, they have position, everything is there. Okay. And they left everything and they went to Vrindavan and they become a mendicant. They become a beggar. Okay. So you see the contrast. So that is the thing which is actually required in bhakti. Okay, this may sound little bit like very bold statement, but actually, whatever material qualification, whatever material opulence we have, that much little will be inclined towards the devotion. Okay, because these material opulence and all these things, that that is that you can say as the impediment in the path of bhakti. Okay, this much material opulence, that because these things increase our ego. Okay, these are in the mode of passion. People they have money, they won't be able to stop themselves from earning money, because money is such a thing that if you start earning, there is no line where to stop. Okay, same thing happened with all the achievements, any achievements you take, not only the money, any achievements. This is like the mode of passion, the hankering, okay, which Krishna says that the mode of passion is due to hankering. hankering for the money, for the power, for the position, all these things. Okay. But you see, these two brothers were in very high post, and they left everything and they went to Vrindavan to become mendicant. Mendicant means they have nothing. Okay, they have nothing, and they just do the begging. Whatever they get from those begging, they eat those things, and they take the Harinam, and they follow the footstep of the previous Acharya. They follow the principles of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given. Okay, so see the contrast. Okay, so that is what thing is actually bhakti is. Um, so not actually, but these things can be understood as impediments in the path of the devotion. Okay, whatever more material things we have, that much less devotional things we will have. Okay, but that thing is one more point I wanted to make here, so that it become clear that material opulence is not a big problem. Okay, the hankering for the material opulence is the biggest problem, not the material opulence. Many people, they have material opulence, but they do bhakti very nicely. They use that material opulence for the service of Krishna. But when the hankering for the material opulence is there, then that is the biggest impediment. Okay, so that thing is there. So like we were, and again more examples are there. Like you see the Raghunath Das Goswami, he was also from a kingdom like Jamindar. He was a son of a Jamindar, very rich. Okay, you see the Narottam Das Thakur. Okay, he was from the Jamindar family. He was very rich, very rich. He was like a king. Okay, the prince, but he left everything, because once you taste one drop of devotion, okay, every opulence of material, every material opulence will be like will be like nothing. Okay, so when they taste the drop, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there at that time. When they taste the drop, they left everything. Okay, such was the power of devotion. So that thing is there. So from this line we got. So the Krishna conscious movement is conducted under the supervision of Srila Rupa Goswami. So this point I wanted to explain. So what is the importance of Rupa Goswami? So Rupa Goswami was directly instructed by Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and after that he has written so many books. Okay, like Sanatan Goswami, his elder brother has given Brihad Bhagavata, and Rupa Goswami has given Laghu Bhagavata. Okay, so another book is there, Nectar of Devotion is there, Nectar of Instruction is there, and more a few drama books are also there, which Prabhupada is writing in the lower part of the preface. Okay, so this thing is there. Prabhupada writes, therefore, to understand the mission of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what was the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? What are the reasons Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in this material world? So actually there is two reasons. Okay, one is called external reason and second is called internal reason. External reason is to spread the Sankirtan movement, to spread the glories of holy name. Okay, and the second reason is he wanted to taste, or the internal reason is he wanted to taste the um, the sweetness which Radharani experiences. Okay, so that was the two reasons. So if you see, therefore, to understand the mission of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and to follow in his footstep, one must very seriously follow the footstep of six Goswami. Okay, so Prabhupada is writing this line. So we should be clearly saying one must very seriously follow in the footstep of six Goswami. Why? To understand the mission of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we are in this movement. Why we are in this movement? So we can see that one purpose is to understand the mission of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and to follow his footstep. We want to follow his footstep. We want to understand the mission of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Prabhupada is saying, if you want to do these two things, you should be very seriously following the footstep of six Goswami. Okay. Six Goswami. Rupa, so that is what it is written. Rupa Raghunatha Pade Haive Akuti. Kavyame Bhujavese Yugala Priti. So Bhujavese Yugala Priti means to understand the transcendental loving affairs of Radha and Krishna. That was the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So how we can understand that? When we have Rupa Raghunatha Pade Haive Akuti. When we have the surrender towards the lotus feet of Rupa and Raghunath. Okay. So that was the thing. Okay. So these things we have read. So if you see, Sri Rupa Goswami was the leader of all the Goswami, and to guide our activity, he has given the Updeshamrita. So why this Updeshamrita was written? Why this nectar of instruction was written? One reason is to guide our activity. Okay, so this is important. To guide our activity. He wanted to guide our activity. What a Vaishnava should do. What things he should follow. What activity he should do. Okay. So for that he has given the Updeshamrita. And second reason is Rup Goswami gave us Updeshamrita so that we may become a pure Vaishnava. Okay. What is the goal? What is the goal of doing this Bhakti Shastri? What is the goal of understanding this Updeshamrita? What is the goal of reading this Updeshamrita? The goal is here so that we may become a pure Vaishnava. This is what Prabhupada wanted to us from us, so that we become a Goswami. Goswami means so that we can control our the senses and mind. Six senses are there, five are those senses, and one is the mind. So we can control our senses and mind. Okay, so that we become a pure Vaishnava, so that we become a pure Goswami. So why we are reading this Updeshamrita? For two reasons. Okay, why we are reading this nectar of instruction? For two reasons. Do we want to increase our knowledge? No, just not to increase our knowledge, but to implement. First point here Prabhupada is writing to guide our activity, not to increase our knowledge, to guide our activity. What activity we should do in our daily life? If you're reading this Updeshamrita, if you're reading this nectar of instruction, whatever activity is being mentioned in this Updeshamrita, we should try to follow those activities. If we are not following, just we are reading, then it won't serve the purpose. Okay, there are two purposes are only there. Okay, one is to guide our activity, and second is to become a pure Vaishnava. So when we follow these activity, then we'll become a pure Vaishnava. Okay, so these two reasons are there. So there are two reasons. One is to guide our activity, what activity you should do, and to become a pure Vaishnava. Okay, so that thing is there. So this paragraph, anyone, please read. Are you with me? Yeah, who is going to read?
You want me to read Prabhuji if no one is not able?
Yeah, any other person should also read. Next time, from next time, we can have like arrange A, B, C, D, E like that so that we can read. Next time, we'll make one arrangement for that. Today, Kalavati Mataji, you can read.
Raghunatha Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunatha. Sri Rupa Goswami was the leader of all the Goswamis, and to guide our activities, he gave us this Upadeshamrita, the nectar of instructions to follow. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left behind him the eight verses known as the Shikshastaka, Rupa Goswami gave us Upadeshamrita so that we may become pure Vaishnavas. In all the spiritual affairs, one's first duty is to control his mind and senses. Unless the controls his mind and the senses, one cannot make any advancement in spiritual life. Everyone within this material world is engrossed in the moods of passion and ignorance. One must promote himself to the platform of goodness, Sattva Guna. By following the instructions of Rupa Goswami, and then everything concerning how to make further progress will be revealed.
Okay, Mataji. So you see this line.
Unless one controls his mind and senses, one cannot make any advancement in spiritual life.
Yes, so anyone want to, if you are reading this line, anyone want to speak something on this line? What do you understand by this line? Anyone? What do you understand by this line?
If you're too much attached to material appliances, we cannot develop our bhakti, Prabhuji.
Is it about the four regulative principles?
Four regulative principles? Maybe, but it is more beyond that. Yes, Mataji has pointed one. Anyone wants to speak, say anything? Or what do you understand by this line? Unless one controls his controls his mind and senses, one cannot make any advancement in spiritual life. What do you think? What this line means? Okay. So you see, Mataji, you can mute yourself. There is background sound is coming. Okay. So you see this line, Prabhupada has given a bullet point for us. Okay. We wanted to progress in our spiritual life. We wanted to become a devotee. Okay. But what Prabhupada is writing, see clearly, very nicely. Prabhupada is writing in all spiritual affairs, one's first duty is to control his mind and senses. Any affair, any spiritual affair you take. You want to take first step in your devotion, the first thing is to our first duty. Prabhupada is writing first duty. See clearly, first duty is to control his mind and senses. We should control our mind and senses. Unless and until we control our mind and senses, we are not at all devotee. Okay, we are not at all. We may be wearing some dress of like we are wearing dhoti kurta, we may be putting tilak, we may be wearing kantimala, we may be initiated or non-initiated. Okay, but unless and until we control the mind and senses, we are not a devotee. I'm not speaking these things. Who is speaking? Prabhupada is saying, in all spiritual affairs, any spiritual affair you take, any spiritual, we are here for spiritual affairs only. Our first duty, what is our duty? What is our first duty? Is to control mind and senses. Unless and mind and senses are controlled, then there is no advancement. And Prabhupada writes also, unless one control his mind and senses, one cannot make any advancement in spiritual life. Why Prabhupada is adding any advancement? Prabhupada would have written one cannot make advancement in the spiritual life, but he is writing any advancement in the spiritual life. Once our mind and control, if you think that if you understand this, then only you can make progress in the spiritual life. Once we control our mind and senses, so devotion is very far thing. Okay, first thing is to practice to control our mind and senses. Okay, so that mind and senses is what it is like a like go or the senses. Okay, so to control those things is called Goswami. So one person who controls these things is called Goswami. And Prabhupada writes that this nectar of instruction is written so that we follow these activity and we become a pure Vaishnava, we become a Goswami. Okay, unless and until that thing is done, forget about that. Forget about the thing that will become a Vaishnava. Forget about the thing that will become a devotee only. Okay. So first duty is to control the mind and senses. And how to control? These instructions in the book will tell us. Okay. So that thing is there. Okay. Another one more important point Prabhupada is writing. One must promote himself to the platform of goodness, Sattva-guna, by following the instruction of Rupa Goswami. Then everything concerning how to make further progress will be revealed. So first step is to, so what we understand by this line? One must promote himself to the platform of goodness by following the instructions. So whatever instruction Rupa Goswami is giving in the following verses, we follow those instructions and promote ourselves to the platform of goodness. Okay, and then other thing, or Prabhupada is writing everything concerning how to make further progress will be revealed. Okay, the further progress, forget about the further progress now. Our first important thing is we should not be in Rajoguna or Tamoguna. We should be in the platform of goodness, Sattva-guna. Okay, when we follow these instructions, we are in the Sattva-guna, and when we are in the Sattva-guna, then what to do for the progression in the spiritual life, we'll understand that. So everything concerning how to make further progress will be revealed. Okay, so our goal by reading these things is at least we come to the stage of mode of goodness. Okay, come to the stage of mode of goodness. We are mostly in the mode of passion and ignorance. I'm sorry to say, but actually every one of us is actually in the mode of passion and ignorance only. Or maybe some devotees are there who are very advanced. They may be in the mode of goodness. They have already crossed the stage. But actually I consider myself that we have not till the stage of Sattva-guna only. We are again in the mode of hankering. Okay, our senses are going here and there. Okay, our senses are not at all controlled. Okay, anything we see, we wanted to eat. Anything we want to see, we wanted to buy. Okay, we see this car, we wanted to buy. We see this thing, we wanted to buy. We are so much in competition with our other people, our material people. They wanted to buy a car, they wanted a big job, they wanted a big certificate, they wanted the big degrees. We also want that. Okay, so then that is mode of anchoring, that is mode of passion only, not the mode of goodness. Okay, so the purpose of reading this nectar of instruction or the Upadeshamrita is that so that we follow the instruction and we place ourselves in the platform of goodness so that we may make further advancement. Okay, so that is what is the goal of writing this book. Prabhupada is writing in the last paragraph. Yes, who will read? Yes, Vaishnavi Mataji, please read.
Advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. A follower of the Krishna consciousness movement should become a perfect Goswami. Vaishnavas are generally known as Goswamis. In Vrindavana, this is the title by which the director of each temple is known. One who wants to become a perfect devotee of Krishna must become a Goswami. Go means senses and Swami means the master. Unless one controls his senses and mind, one cannot become a Goswami. To achieve the highest success in the life by becoming a Goswami and then a pure devotee of the Lord, one must follow the instructions known as Upadeshamrita, which have been given by Srila Rupa Goswami. Srila Rupa Goswami has given many other books such as Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Vidagdha Madhava, and Lalita Madhava, but Upadeshamrita constitutes the instructions for neophyte devotee. One should follow these instructions very strictly, then it will be easier to make one's life successful. Hare Krishna.
See the what writing Prabhupada is giving. Okay, what Prabhupada is saying and what we are following. Okay, see this line. Advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. How much you want to advance in Krishna consciousness. Whether you don't want to advance, whether you don't want to enter only the devotional life, or what you want in Krishna consciousness, just you want to, like something should be there, like that, or you want to become a perfect Vaishnava. Okay, so you see here, advancement of Krishna consciousness depend on the attitude of the follower. What attitude we have, whether you want to become a perfect Vaishnava, okay, whether you want to become a Goswami, okay, what Prabhupada is writing Goswami. The see this line, a follower of Krishna conscious movement should become a perfect Goswami. If you are following the Krishna conscious movement, then you should become a perfect Goswami. That should be our goal. I'm not saying this. Prabhupada is saying a follower of Krishna consciousness movement should become a perfect Goswami. What should be our goal? Our goal should be this. Okay. This is what Prabhupada is wanting from us, to become a perfect Goswami. And why our Guru Maharaj wanted to read this book? So that we can understand the mood of Prabhupada. Okay. Prabhupada is writing that a follower of Krishna conscious movement should become a perfect Goswami. He should control his senses perfectly. Okay. So that should be the reason to follow this Krishna consciousness movement. We have come to this Krishna consciousness movement. We are very lucky that due to our previous karma, we have come to a perfect sampradaya, a very good sampradaya where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has himself come, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has himself come, and just 500 years ago, only not too much delay, and we are very close to Srila Prabhupada. Okay, just few years back only Prabhupada left this planet. Okay, and so many literatures he has given. Okay, so we should consider ourselves very lucky. Okay, but these luckiness and everything happens due to our previous karma. Okay, maybe we have done something. Due to that, we have come to this. But further advancement as a devotee, we may have come to this movement. We may have come to this devotee association. We may have come to the movement of Prabhupada. We may have come to the ISKCON. But further advancement will happen, will depend on our attitude. Okay, if we take this movement very lightly, very cheaply, then we will be nowhere. We have to take birth again, again, again. So we don't know whether in the next life what will be happening to us. We don't know in previous life also. We may have come to this movement or in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, but we may not have taken that movement very seriously, and then we have to repeat this birth again, and all those um, problems which we have faced till now, those problems we have to face again in the next life. Okay, so thing is, we should take this movement not cheaply. Okay? We should take this movement as Prabhupada wanted us to do, wanted us to follow. Okay, and our attitude should be very serious, very serious. Prabhupada wanted advancement in Krishna consciousness. Depends on the attitude of the follower. Okay, attitude of the follower. So once we come in the on the stage of association with the devotee, we have got a perfect association of the devotee. Now our advancement in Krishna consciousness will depend on our attitude. What is our attitude? Okay, if our attitude is very dhila dhala, then maybe we don't know how many births more we have to take again. Okay, and we don't know whether this movement will be like this only, whether someone will like Prabhupada will be there or not. Okay? So whether this condition, favorable condition, will be there or not, whether this whatever things we are possessing now, whether these things will be there or not, and what condition will be there in the next life, we don't. Okay, so thing is, this life only we have to perfect our Krishna consciousness. Okay, and it depends on our attitude. Prabhupada writes, advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. Okay, and the follower of Krishna consciousness movement should become a perfect Goswami. How to become a perfect Goswami? By following the teachings of Nectar of Instruction. So you see, preface Prabhupada has cleared that this book is very important, and this book will decide what will happen to our Krishna consciousness. Okay, that's why this book is called Law Book of ISKCON. Whatever is written, if you follow, then you are in correct path. Okay, so that thing is there. So the meaning of Goswami is written. Go means the senses, and Swami means one who controls these senses. Okay, so we should control the senses as well as mind. Okay, Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita says that it is very difficult to control the mind. Krishna, then Krishna says it is possible. Yes, it is very difficult to control the mind and senses. Okay, mind, but it is possible by Abhyas and Vairagya. Abhyas and Vairagya. These two things Krishna has written. Prabhupada is not quoting those things here, but he is saying that instruction of Srila Rupa Goswami is very important. So in the instruction which is given in this book, if you follow, then we'll advance in Krishna consciousness. We can become a perfect Goswami. Okay, so that thing is there. Again, one more important line I wanted to highlight. Srila Rupa Goswami has given many books, like those books like Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which we'll read in the Bhakti Shastri only. That is called Nectar of Devotion. Then Vigada Madhava and Lalita Madhava. These are the drama books, like how Krishna and Gopi's pastimes are there. Those pastimes are written in these books, Vigada Madhava and Lalita Madhava. And Updeshamrita. So this book is the Nectar of Instruction, is the English translation of Updeshamrita. So Prabhupada writes, but so many books Srila Rupa Goswami has written, but Updeshamrita constitute the first instruction for neophyte devotee. Okay, so what we consider ourselves? We consider ourselves as neophyte devotee. Then these are called the first instruction. First instruction. So whatever instruction is there, that is very, very, very important for a neophyte devotee like us. Okay, so we should read these instructions with our whole heart and try to follow these instructions, because that will decide what will happen to our Krishna consciousness. And the attitude to follow these instructions will decide whether we'll progress in the devotional life or we'll stay here and we'll take next verse again. Okay. So what will happen? So that will be decided by the attitude. Okay, the attitude of the follower of Krishna consciousness. The last line. One should follow these instructions very strictly. Prabhupada is writing. I'm not saying, okay, I'm just repeating what Prabhupada is writing. I'm just highlighting those things what Prabhupada is writing. So we have not started the book yet, but Prabhupada is giving so many instructions, very nice instructions. Prabhupada is writing, one should follow these instructions very strictly, then it will be easier to make one's life successful. What is the success of life? Can anyone tell? What is the success of life?
Follow the instructions very strictly.
Follow the instructions.
Hare Krishna, to go to the Godhead. Go back to the Godhead.
Go back to Godhead, go back to our home. Okay. Yes.
Krishna consciousness?
Krishna consciousness. Yes. Yes, you are all correct. That is the goal of our life. Goal of our life is Krishna. Okay. The goal of our life is Krishna. One word, Krishna. If Krishna is there, then we have achieved everything in our life. If we don't have Krishna, we have nothing. We may have so many things, so much money, power, position, okay, so much family, so much respect in the family, so much respect in the society. We may have earned many things. Next life, everything will become zero. Okay. So everything is zero. It doesn't mean anything. If we have all those things and we doesn't have Krishna, if our heart is not crying for Krishna, our heart is not hankering for the love of Krishna, then we have nothing. Okay. Then we have nothing. So our heart is not crying for Krishna. How many hours we are remembering Krishna? How many hours we are trying to remember Krishna? How many hours we are trying to um, like remember Krishna and try to not to forget Krishna? Okay, so that decides like what is our position. Okay, whether we are too much hankering for the material thing only and we don't have Krishna at all, then that is zero. Okay, just like we have given the example of Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, so much material opulence were there, but they left everything. Why? Why? Because that is not the life's success. Okay, till now we are told that life success is something different. Okay, till now we are told that we should have big fame, we have big name, we have so much money, everything should be there, so much degree, so much puffed up knowledge. Okay, people should say my name. Okay, so these things are the success of life. But actually, Prabhupada is writing that these are not successful. These are not the sign of a successful life. These are not the success of life. Success of life is something different, and that success of life is Krishna. If we have Krishna in our heart, in our daily activity, in our mind, in our intelligence, we are thinking about Krishna every time, then whether we are in a five-star building or we are in a street, okay, begging for the food, okay, both are same if don't have Krishna. If you have Krishna, even if you are begging in the road, that is very superior because you have got the Krishna prema. Because you have got the Krishna, that's why you're more successful than a person who is materially advanced. Okay, because that is the success of life, to attain Krishna, to attain the Krishna prema. One drop of Krishna prema and you leave everything. Okay, that is what Narottam Das Thakur has followed. Okay, he had. He was like I was telling that he was the son of a jamindar, like a king. Okay, he was only son, single son. Raghunath Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, he was single son. Okay, and he left everything. Why? Because he tasted the prem. Because he tasted, he understood what is there in the prem. Okay, so when we will understand that mood. Okay, so again we'll come back to this sloka again, which is quoted here. Rupa Raghunatha Pade, Rupa Raghunatha Pade, Hoibe Akuti, Abe Hame Buja Base, Yugala Piriti. When we'll understand, when our heart will cry for Krishna. Okay. So our heart should cry for Krishna. That should be our goal of life. Our heart should be only things we should be remaining in our heart is Krishna. Okay. And for that we have to take shelter of Rupa and Raghunath. Okay. So with this, we end our class. Okay. And so this is what Prabhupada is writing. These are the writings of Prabhupada. It will open your eyes if you read nicely what is there in the Prabhupada book. It will transform you if you read nicely. So that's why this course is Bhakti Shastri, because if you read this slokas, these writings of Prabhupada nicely, then um, then then you will understand yourself that what is in the Prabhupada writing. And if you seriously read this text, if you're seriously following these courses, okay, then it will transform. So that is the thing, and it depends on our attitude, our mood, how our Krishna consciousness depends on our mood only. What Prabhupada is writing. If you're serious, these things are going to change your life. Okay. So with this, we end our session today. So we'll stop sharing. So now, if you have any question, any comment, any correction, anything is there, you can share. So I'll repeat, many people have joined now. So just I'll repeat what things we have in the starting of the class, some instructions we have discussed. Please join on time. Okay, so class will start by 7 till 7:05. And please join on time, because in today class, I saw that only 3 or 4 people were there in the starting. So please join on time. Second thing is, please, when the class is going on, I want everyone's videos would be on. Okay. Otherwise, I won't give the attendance to that person. Or if you are joining and you are keeping the video off, please inform me earlier in the group that I will keep my video off with the reason why I'm keeping my video off, so that I can understand, okay, this person will be keeping their video off. Okay. So that thing is also there. And third thing, I told that please, if you are initiated, write your initiated name in the list, so that I can understand that you are initiated. Okay. So today's class I have recorded on YouTube, and maybe if I see that very less people are joining, or most of the people are not joining, I may not keep it as YouTube. Okay, it will be a live class only. So just like what we have read, our advancement in Krishna consciousness depend on our attitude. Okay, if you're serious, if you want to join, please join and do the class live, so that we can understand that seriousness. If any problems there, you can tell me. I can record the video and give you later, but there should be a genuine problem. Okay, so how much seriousness is there depends on that. Okay, there is no need. If there is no seriousness, there's no need to attend the class. Okay, so strictly I'll say that if there is no
class is every day conducting this Bhakti Shastri course.
No, Prabhuji. This
Every
will be on
day
Sunday. Sunday 7 p.m.
Only on Sundays, no? Every Sunday.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Okay. Any correction? Any? So today's class is live on YouTube. You can, if you have missed, you can go to YouTube and see. But next time, please join online. Okay, so that we can release these classes more. Okay. Okay. Any correction? Anything you want to say? Any comments?
Prabhuji, want to ask you that regarding the daily sheets that we used to get, it will be shared here as well, the bhakti sheets and all.
Which seats?
I
don't know, Mataji.
For the Mangaluru and all that, we had to mark in one sheet. The daily sadhana sheet. I think that was the name. Daily sadhana sheet.
Daily sadhana sheet. You are following in other batches, Mataji.
Yes, that was followed.
Let me stop the YouTube live so that you can.